And we are live.
Where?
What?
I didn't do it yet.
Yet.
Exactly.
I'm afraid for tonight because we've got the troublemaker team here without, the conscience.
It's okay. It's fine.
Are you sure?
The three of us have never done anything wrong in this entire campaign.
Nope. Never.
Uh-huh.
I defy you to prove it.
Exactly. What proof do you have?
Twitch VODs?
That
they
doesn't
were
count. That doesn't count.
Let me go in there and delete them real quick.
Do it quick before he brings them up.
Yeah, so Mags and Zoro are out for tonight. Zoro is entertaining her in-laws and Mags is not feeling well right now, so
How dare they?
we
Especially
wish her
Zoro.
a quick recovery. Yeah, I told Zoro just to lock her in-laws in a room while she played D&D.
I know, right? It's just a family. Jeez.
Better yet, make them watch.
I know, right?
Make them sub.
I know, right?
It is September, right?
It is indeed September, where everything is what 50% off. Beefy
I
McDouble,
believe
thank you for that
so.
host.
Half off of brand new subs, and then
bits.
also for every, I think, cheer that you use using the Subway cheer mote, they will add, I think it's 10% on top of that cheer.
Interesting.
Yes.
Oh man, so things happened the last time we got together.
No, nothing happened.
You guys quasi successfully negotiated with a dragon turtle, which only resulted in numerous draws from the deck of many things, resulting in Tickles temporarily being trapped in another plane of existence in suspended animation. Molly once again just proving she's a hacker as Mags draws the third wish card that out of this season. Out of 6 pulls, she has drawn 3 wish cards. So I have
legit wish.
So I have gotten rid of the deck of many things. It burst into a pile of flames. So
it did the deck of cloud. It did the glow, and then
that's all the right. All the cards just
all the cloud cards went
right. Yeah.
All scattered like Dragon Ball.
Out of that, though, one, I got another piece of property somewhere, and this one's a keep, so it's big and fancy.
You have to clear out the monsters.
Yeah. Quest for the future. And then 2, we don't have the deck anymore, which I see that as a great thing.
Yeah, all you have is something that's worse. Like, the coin itself.
Oh my God!
I'll say right now, the coin of Twisted Fates that you guys have in your possession is far worse than the deck of many things.
Yeah, and the shitty thing is that again, Mags keeps getting good shit from flipping that fucking coin.
Molly is lucky. I'm just gonna say it. Molly is just straight up lucky when it comes to everything. You guys draw things and you get hurt. You get your souls taken. You get set on fire.
I'm telling you, we're like, yeah, we stuck the soul of the Goliath or not. We stuck the soul of the fucking halfling in her.
I'm sorry, but she's the definition of the lucky feat.
Yeah,
it really is.
That's why she's got a halfling soul.
I have the coin right now, and I was coming very close to giving it back to Tickles, but after that deck pull, I'm thinking maybe I should give it to Molly.
I mean, giving it to Groudon or giving it to Mags is definitely going to ensure that coin you see some use.
Yes.
Mostly me.
Not want to see it flip, you can just give it to me. That thing will never get flipped.
But you have an urge.
It will get buried in the back of your bag, like your bag somewhere. You'll just like do away with it.
No, I have means. Like that thing will just no.
The thing will just go away.
Yeah.
Oh, but yeah. So thanks to a very lucky wish card, both Ash and Tickles will return to you.
Yeah, and
Ash is going through some serious PTSD right now, because she thought she just spent the last 200 years with who she thought was Turok, had a nice happy life with 2 little twin boys, and then she's pulled back into the real world not 2 weeks later after she was sucked into a portal. And then she took Grimjaw's idea and wished you guys ashore outside Jimmy's shack.
With Tickles there.
Yep, with Tickles there, and with and the group, Dice and Jolvoth decided to go off on their own. As we were discussing a B team.
That was a weird coupling.
Yeah, we were discussing B team shows to bring on every now and then. And right as we left off, Grimjaw walked into this destroyed shack where he said a friend of his lived, and he pulled up a large trap door and looked at all of you and asked if you were coming.
Yeah, Rose is escorting Ash to the trapdoor, since she's still a little bit catatonic.
I think she was slightly more than a little bit.
Hey,
she's your problem right now, so I'm just putting that out there.
It's not my problem. She's my responsibility. There's a difference.
Same thing sometimes.
What about Tickles?
Why, is she following suit, or?
Yeah, is she following suit, or what is she doing?
She's contemplating about her freaking life right now. She's like, what the hell happened to me?
Do I really play with fire too much?
Well, kind of. Not really. Does she even remember being in suspended animation?
Nope.
Oh.
Okay,
That's the whole thing about that card.
Much, yeah,
pretty much. Pull the card, you see it, and then it's like, poof, that's it. That's the last thing you remember.
So pretty much what happened, you drew the card, and then like 2 seconds later, you were on the shore of a beach completely naked.
Okay. Why am I naked? Was I drunk? What the hell happened? Someone explain now.
Yes. Fucked up card.
Basically, yes. Molly, I believe, has all your stuff if you'd like to put some clothing on.
I mean, as much as I like to be in my skivvies right now, I like my shit. Thank you. Molly, where are you at?
Molly's already gone underneath. She was kind of the first person to jump into the trap door.
Well, she's gonna grumble while going down, like, freaking rival, freaking clothes, freaking, where the hell am I?
All right, and you, Grimjaw, once everybody is down, Grimjaw pulls the trap door over you, and everything is dark for just a brief moment before he strikes up a torch. And you can see that he begins to lead you down this large angular rock path, and you can see a trail of water running underneath it where the ocean runs in during high tides. The walls just soaked and covered with moss. You can see a couple barnacles on the wall as well when the cave has become flooded. And he begins to lead you down this long spiraling tunnel for probably a good 5-10 minutes. And you're thankful that there only seems to be one direction of this tunnel, because once you start spinning around, you kind of start losing your direction. It's almost as if something is throwing you off as you're descending. So if you were to like try to veer off to the right into like another corridor, you feel you probably would become lost for a while.
Does this affect me the same way as everyone else, or?
Yes, because it isn't anything. It isn't anything magical. It's just with the way that the rocks and everything have been cut on the way down, it's kind of hard to get a grasp of where you're at.
So it's like being in an Escher.
Yeah, it's kind of like being an Escher, but the rooms aren't upside down. It's just the facets on the rocks on the wall have been cut a certain way to really screw with your eyes. And the torchlight, it seems to aid in that. But sooner or later, you get down to the bottom landing, and in front of you is this haphazardly put together door that just looks like it's a bunch of misshapen planks put up and everything. And he looks back and he's like, all right, about to meet my friends. Just a warning, they could be different.
What do you mean different? We've met a lot of different kinds of different.
Well, then maybe this won't be as different to you as it was to me the first time. Just be respectful. I mean, as respectful as pirates get, but you know, don't really openly throw insults towards the lady. She doesn't like that, and unless you want to be a decoration on the wall, I highly suggest you don't cross a line. But
I didn't do anything to this person today.
yet, don't shoot her. Don't pull out your gun. Whatever you do, do not pull your gun. But like I said, when I was telling you back on the dock, not on the dock, but on the ship, she's your best bet into Kamiroska without having to put yourself in any danger.
Okay, before I go in, raise his gun. Okay, I'm good.
Rose is slightly pissed though because it's like that ship is like somewhere out at sea with like a bunch of really cool shit on it.
Mm-hmm. It is. It is. I'm kind of sad that you guys didn't like pack all that stuff inside of it, because there was some actual good magic items in there that I designed.
Yeah, the whole thing. I mean, our magic. Our bags of holding are weight limited. We can't.
I don't even have a bag of holding, so there's that.
Yeah, but see, you had the choice menu. You could have chosen what you wanted to take.
I really wanted to look in those crates because you mentioned they were full of ring magic stuff. I
actually have 2 of those boxes.
But
you have 4 of those boxes.
Zale never.
Oh, do I?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's great. Yeah, tickle.
Yeah, the ring magic stuff are in those boxes that Tickles grabbed. The barrels were like foodstuffs and everything, and there was 3 separate chests that contained different parts to a sword that needed to be kept away at a certain distance unless it would explode, because it required a specific means of assembly.
Mm-hmm.
Oh damn.
And he like, everyone good?
I think so, yes.
I think so. I hopefully. Yes, I'm good.
All right. As he pulls the door open, he's like, "In you go. Lady's in the back. You can't miss her. If you need a name, everyone here just calls her Blind Jenny."
Blind Jenny.
Yep.
Do I know that name by chance?
Give me a history check.
All right.
Can I also give you a history check, since I have technically been to this area of the world before?
Yeah, we could do that. I don't know why the roll sounds aren't playing.
I hear him.
There we go. All right, so both of you know that Blind Jenny is a well-known and well-respected fence, and in a way a master of a thieves guild. That she oversees all the pirate racket along the coastlines of the Western Kingdoms. She's also one of the very few people who have some sort of an outside control inside Kamiroska. She's she's situated here in this shack, she operates and oversees the the goings on of all of her little thieves inside Kamiroska. So she deals with like political information about the city itself, smuggling, anything like that. If you want to get into Kamiroska, she's the one to talk to.
Okay, knowing that, basically from this point forward, I'm going to be paying extra attention to things that are being said and things that I may see written down or scrawled anywhere that may have some hidden thieves' cant in them.
Inside the
inside this area, and when we eventually get into the city and talking with Blind Jenny, if I can pick up on any secret thieves' cant messages, I'm going to be keeping an ear out for that.
Okay.
Does Tickles know if Cheeseburger's been having some dealings with Blind Jenny?
You don't remember if Cheeseburger has ever mentioned anything about Jenny. She seems to operate the piracy on this side of the world. It's almost as if she may be a rival pirate captain.
So more of the Western and Cheeseburger's the Eastern.
Pretty much.
Oh shit.
The bitch must die.
But then again, you've never heard him speak of her, so you don't really have enough to go off of to assume that maybe they're rivals. They could just be respectable business people on opposite sides of the world. It's like you take the West, I take the East.
Okay.
And the middle is a 50-50 split.
Sounds good.
And so Grimjaw lets you in, and as soon as you go in, he shuts the door behind you, and you hear like a bar slide across the door. And he's now on the opposite side of it. And when you look around, the confusing tunnel of oddly cut rocks and everything is no more, and you are now in this like brick tunnel archway lined with very strong stone pillars that support the weight above it. You can see that a lot of work has gone into preserving this area, as it still is technically underneath the sand. Every now and then you could see some drips of water falling through some of the cracks in the wall, but nothing to alarm you too much. But you can also see like numerous shadowy figures leaned against the wall. All of them dressed in like a very roguish, like a very stereotypical roguish fashion, with like the hooded cowls and like the black leather, like the showings of multiple daggers and knives on their persons. But as you walk in, none of them seem to give you any trouble. They just give you like respectful nods or grunts, or they don't even pay attention to you whatsoever. Each one of the pillars that you walk by are sconed on each direction with a torch, making it very well lit in here. Almost as if like the center of the room is now like the spotlight, where the outside is now just these shadows where everyone is hanging out. And you begin to walk down the long stone stone floor underneath you. As it begins to, you see that it begins to take a different pattern. And as you continue to walk into the center of it, it's just this long pattern has been painted into the brick of this long blindfold with a snake twisted around it. And as you come to the center, you look up and you can see that you are now in this small like amphitheater, standing in the center of these curved benches all around in a half circle. In the dead center, a woman sits there with a cowl over her head, but you can see a very, very white blindfold over her eyes. On either side of her are two more Goliaths. These two not dressed like the rest of like the roguish people that you've seen as you walked in, but sporting very brutally designed axes that seem to be designed more for tearing and less than chopping.
So more like serrated?
Not really serrated. It's kind of like there are teeth in the axe that so when it catches something, it just rips.
Ew, okay.
Like if you stare at them more, it's almost as if they're made out of a shark's jaw.
Oh, that's so cool.
And it takes a moment, but everybody sitting on these benches finally begins to quiet down as the attention is now on you. And there's just this long silence as if they are expecting you to speak first.
Rose looks at oh, my brain, at Zale, and like just eyes her like, we're here for you. It's like, you know.
Yeah, I kind of nudge Zale and be like, "Hey, come on, talk."
How is it that I am the speaker of the party right now?
Because you're the one that's missing a boyfriend.
That's fair. We we appreciate your hospitality and the kindness you show us by letting us in here. We hope we don't impose too much.
Impose? Oh, no, my dear. Grimmy has been an agent of mine for very many years, and he only brings those he deems worthy to my home.
I knew something seemed off about him.
Oh, there is nothing off about him. He is what he seems. He may be a little slow at times, but he is an honest soul.
Off about his initial presentation, I should say.
Rose giggles Grimmy out loud.
So, if my dear Grimjaw has brought you here, then, and judging from the tone of your voice, there is some sort of favor that you need to ask of me and my children.
Yes. We were told that you would be able to give us relatively safe passage into the city.
Kamiroska.
Yes.
Why does everybody want to go there? Yes, I can get you in.
Were there others that wished to enter recently?
Recently, not so much. Though every now and then we get the straggler who wishes to go in for whatever reason, and we help them go in, or we help them get in, but once they're in, they're on their own. Have any of you ever been to this accursed city?
Yes. I have been within its walls before.
You must have done something if you need to come to me now if you can't get in on your own.
Well, I haven't been back and I haven't really followed news since my last departure from here, but I have reason to believe that they have increased their security since my last visit.
Security and the grip that it has on its peoples. They now have sort of a enforced system that dictates what people can and cannot do based on their magical premise. Those who don't have any magical talents whatsoever, they are more slaves than anything. The more magic one possesses, the more respect they earn, and the more pleasantries that they're able to experience within the city.
Sounds about right for the Kamiroskans. They were never really an open people.
Yes, but strange happenings in the city. It seems that once these rules went into effect, they became more welcoming of anybody who had an ounce of magical talent. Not just the elves or the gnomes anymore, but humans, dwarves, Goliaths, anyone who had, you know, an ounce of talent was being welcome in.
Perhaps we can use that to our favor once we are inside. Then a number of my traveling companions here are quite adept with magic.
Well, of course, we will make sure that all of the documentation you are provided states that you have some ounce of magic in you. It'll be forged, of course, but...
I feel that I should be honest, since you are going out of your way to assist us. My last visit to this city, it ended with one of their royals dead.
And when you say that, a lot of you hear a lot of chatter beginning to happen amongst those in the seats. And Jenny just raises her hand, and like a smile comes to her face as she stands up and she begins to very slowly walk down the steps, almost as if she's slithering. And once you see her come down to the landing, you can see a very long snake-like tail under her as she begins to like glide towards you.
Trying desperately not to stare.
And she stops probably about 6 inches away from you, kind of like turns her head, and then she pulls the robe back, or the cowl back, and you can see a head full of snakes just fall out. And she's got she still has that blindfold on her. You are even more interesting than I thought.
Rose covers her eyes.
When she sees Rose like put her hands over, she smiles. She's like, "You don't need to do that, dear. That's what this is for."
I don't think this...
You are guests in my house. You will not be decoration. Not when we have a celebrity with us.
I had hoped to leave that in my past, but unfortunately it has been dredged back up.
Yes. Well, do not worry so much. You look different than the wanted posters, so you won't have too much of an issue.
I am fairly different now, yes.
So, how many of you are going in?
Well, there's 3 of us. There's Molly and Ash, and I did technically hire Grimjaw. I don't know if he wants to come with us or not, though.
Oh no, Grimmy is here. Grimmy will work here. He is one of my boys, and when he is not off on a mission from me, he works the door.
So then there's the 5 of us, and well, there's one other that gave me his word he would make an appearance, but I feel like we won't need papers for him. He has a knack for traveling through shadow.
As do most of my children. So 5.
I believe that's right, yes.
Okay. Yes. She just like begins to like go along the lines or down the line of you, and she's like, it almost like the way she's like looking at you is almost if like somebody is picking out clothing, just like giving everybody like a once over, like running her hands like over like the clothing that you're wearing. Like, you can definitely pass as outsiders or travelers into Kamiraska. Of course, like I said, the documents will be forged. But
of course,
as you must know, my help does not come out without a price.
I wouldn't expect it not to come with a price.
One of mine was taken about 2 weeks ago. We haven't heard from him since. And it's a little saddening. He was one of my favorites. If you could look for him, gather information, see if you can find him anywhere. Confirm that he is okay and is only in hiding. That would be greatly appreciated. If the worst has come to pass, bring me something of his.
Does this person have a name? What do they look like? Where may we start this search?
Where to start would be Kamiruska. I do not know where he was when he was captured. He was there simply to keep an eye on somebody that we had in transport. He was one of my better known enforcers. A half-elven gentleman of a certain monk school, one that dealt with control of the elements.
Is there any places in the city that we should avoid asking about him?
More than likely anything that has to do with authority. I would be very careful with whom you speak. Look for those who are in the more dire situations of struggling to live than shopkeepers or anybody who may turn you in to gain favor.
So perhaps taverns and the like in the lower part of the city.
Oh, there are no lower part taverns. Even to qualify for a business license there, you must have some sort of magical affinity. No, you'll be looking for the beggars or those who hide in the shadows.
Shouldn't be too much of an issue then. Beggars can always be bought.
Bots, yes. Your coin will come in handy.
Who was he looking after for?
I don't know if I should tell you that. You see, it's not that I don't trust you, it's just information like that could be dangerous.
Very well, then in that case, if he was looking for someone, I would say that around there someone found out and probably got to him. Is there parts that we can check around?
I do not know where he's at. All I know is he was in the city and he was to relocate her to a safe establishment until we can transfer her out. She made it out, but he did not.
Okay. The person got out, but they didn't, so... Very well, we will...
Now, I do not know his real name, as we do not use real names here. Even Grimmy, that's not his name. It's a code name that I give everyone. The half-elf gentleman that you want goes by the code name of Crackfist.
I suppose that makes sense, given what he dealt in as a monk.
Now, you all look absolutely exhausted and like you've been drugged through hell and back.
We've had a rough couple of weeks.
Okay. I can understand that as well. Well, I will have quarters made for you. You can wash up, have some food, eat your fill, and in the morning, your documents should be ready. Now, how are you planning to travel to Kamiruska?
How far away are we from here to there?
It's a good question. You're about 4 days.
4 days. All right.
Admittedly, I haven't given it much thought. I just assumed we'd go by foot.
It's been a while.
I'm sorry,
it...
it's 2 days. It's 2 days.
Oh, it's 2 days.
Yeah.
Okay. More than likely, either by foot or by horse. Nichols is going to ask if there's anything we should know, if there's any. There's always assumptions of dangers, but is there anything we need to know between here and there that we have to kind of avoid or watch out for?
The beasts, yes. The beasts, any Kami Roskin patrols that you may come across, any mage knight battalions out for training, that sort of thing. While the capital is 4 days away, the elves tend to think of anything this side of the spire as their land.
As much as I like to believe that we will be able to avoid all danger on the path, history tells me that's not the case. Should a patrol come across us, what should we do? Would we be able to just show them our documents? And
you can. Your documents will provide you, should provide you safe passage. But out in the lands, the knights tend to sometimes take matters into their own and may charge a protection fee or road tax. You know, something that most young knights would do.
Do you think the roads are more safer, or should we just avoid the paths?
That is up to you. I mean, the beasts are nothing to laugh at here either. Due to just the magical surges and everything that have been put off by Kami Raska, they have affected the creatures in certain ways.
Oh, that's lovely. It's not the first time that's happened.
Well, I appreciate everything that you are doing for us. This has been a very long journey, and I feel we are close to the end, finally.
You say that, but once you get into the city, a whole nother hell it will start for you. I am sure of it.
Hopefully,
your journey now has been easy compared to what you'll be coming across.
I feel as though that is to be expected. And actually, on that note, the keeps or the parts of the city that seem to float up in the air.
You've seen those.
Yes. Do you happen to know how we may access those parts of the land?
She smiles a very large, toothy grin as she reaches into a bag on her side. She pulls up this broken stone. It's been like broken in 3 different parts. You would need something like this. Whole, of course. This, unfortunately, was brought to me broken. But only those in high command or those who are their priests carry these. It allows transport between the ground and those spires.
Would a broken one be able to be repaired?
No, I've had my own people try. Once it's broken, the magic is gone. But this is what you're looking for. And she shows it to you, and there's a large, like, cracked sun crest on the center. And it's like every one of the rays from the sun kind of sprawl out to each side of this small stone with runes dancing around it. It's like, now, from what I understand, as long as you're in the proximity of somebody using one, you will be transported with them. Say about 5 feet or so.
So if we can't get our hands on one ourselves, then
you can hitch a ride.
Hitch a ride. Interesting. I don't suppose you have your hands in any sort of black market within the city itself, do you?
Oh, I am the black market, dear. We must do our business outside of the city. Hence why I was asking how you thought to travel, as we do have our own, say, smuggling tunnels to the city, to and from.
Well, that certainly sounds safer than taking the roads or going through the wilds.
Now, safer, that's definitely a shot in the dark, as the creatures have gotten down into there, and we use them as we can as a security measure. I mean, they will attack anything they see, but if we kill one, another one will take their place.
Do you think it would be better for us to take that route or go above and risk being seen by the patrols?
It would definitely give you the essence of surprise, though you being on the roads may add to your legitimacy claims when you make it to the front gates. If guards or anybody who are on the road saw you traveling, it can definitely work in your favor if called into question. Now, if you wish to get in unseen, you can take our tunnels to an establishment that one of our people own.
Something to think about, I think. We can make that decision come the morning.
Very well. Just know that it's an open option.
And these stones, you mentioned only the higher ranking of the city have them.
Yes, the mage knight captains, the clergy, anybody of the royal family, and those who serve them would have access to this, as it is the only way to get up and down from the spires to the rest of Kameroska.
Do you know if they tend to keep these things just loose on their person, or are they...
That would depend on whomever you're stalking. You know, different people have different habits. So I would expect that most of them, you know, where that thing is close to their body as possible.
Well, I suppose we'll just have to survey it once we get in there and track some people down. If we can get our hands on one ourselves, that seems ideal, but otherwise, we'll just have to do what we can.
This will make for an interesting story.
Yes, and hopefully it will be the last time that I ever come back to this city.
If it weren't for those in power, that city would be splendid. But since the change, it's disturbing. There are reports coming that untold experiments are going on in their mage towers. That whatever experiments they are doing are bleeding into the land, causing those strange mutations in the creatures. Almost as if they're giving off some sort of magical pollutant.
Well, I can tell you that those aren't just stories. I've seen inside of the tower myself. They are doing horrendous things in there.
Well, I wish you the best of luck, whatever path you take. But as I said, tonight you may call this place your home, get some rest, get something to eat, and get ready for... I wish I could put it in a better way, but a descent into a pleasant hell.
Seems like a good subtitle for our entire journey up to this point.
And she smiles and she just like slowly slithers on back up to the top of her podium, and she just sits back down.
this amphitheater thing, there doesn't look like there's any like privacy or anything like that, right?
Nope. The amphitheater is just like you're in the center of a room which is like fully lit, and then you just see like the semicircle of benches and chairs that have been made up that just have all kinds of figures. You can't make out what their faces look like or anything like that. It's either hidden by the shadows due to like the manipulation of the light, or they've got something covering their faces.
I am gonna ask her in Umbral if she understands Umbral.
I'm sorry, dear. You're going to have to speak up. Don't really know what it is you're trying to get across.
I was really hoping. Might I have a private audience?
There are no private audiences here, dear. The walls literally have ears.
Then I wish to negotiate for, let's say, an amicable relationship between factions.
And what faction is that?
I give her whatever. I give her the thieves can't like version of our clan name, because we specifically we're specifically like
Art fences and stuff.
We're art thieves and art fences.
And you are within your rights to speak for your clan.
No, my mother certainly thinks so.
Well, let's set up some time for negotiations after you come back from your trip, as those tend to be long, boring, and tedious talks.
True. I try to make them not as such.
Any good business person takes the long meetings in stride to make sure that all the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed.
True. I just rather not deal with the boorishness of it.
Would you rather not deal with what?
The boorishness of it, like the grueling slog.
She's like, none of us do, but that is business. You have to go through some of the torture in order to revel in the pleasure.
So be it. When we're done.
I will have one of my children show you to my room, or to your rooms. Any food or anything that you desire will be brought to you. I must ask that you don't go exploring around, as you know, this is our den, and it's still very much our home. Can't have all of our secrets getting out.
If it's not too much of an issue, I would greatly appreciate a place to clean myself up, have a nice soak, a wash, and a bit of privacy while I do so.
Oh, there will be means for washing yourself in your room.
Thank you.
We may live in, a brick tunnel underneath the sands, but we are not savages.
I appreciate that.
If that is all for now, I will have you shown to your rooms. I will get those documents started right away, and you should be good to go first thing in the morning.
Sounds all right with me.
She claps her hands, and each of you see three little hooded figures run towards you, and they begin to lead you off in separate directions down tunnels to your rooms. And I think with that, we are going to take our first break for the night. Just to let you guys know that that Roll20 is now sponsoring the stream. So this episode is brought to you in part by Roll20.
What?
Yep.
What? Awesome.
That's why we got the Roll20 logo up in the corner there. But we are going to go and we are going to take our first break for the night, stretch our legs, all that fun stuff. And when we get back, I'm pretty sure somebody's going to do something they're not supposed to. So let's just stick around and find out who that's going to be. But give us like 2 minutes, guys. We'll be right back.
It's so tempting.
All right, we are back.
Hola, senor.
So, everyone has been led to their rooms by these little short cloaked figures. And once you're shown to the door and the door is open to you, they just leave you to your own business. Each of you has been given a room that has a passable bed. Nothing too luxurious or anything like that. It's looks like it's just literally a box with a mattress on it. A wash basin, and then a small desk with a candle on it. As I said, it's nothing too luxurious that you've been exposed to before. It's very simple. It's like almost as if it was just hastily put together for you while you were meeting with Blind Jenny.
I assume the wash basin is full of water already, or we have means of filling it.
Yes, it's already full of water.
Okay. And about what time of night, I guess, is it right now?
You don't know.
Don't know. Okay.
You are underground, so you are unaware of the time.
Was it like well?
It was overcast when you guys were on the beach. So,
But there was still like enough light to see what we were doing.
Yes, it was definitely overcast, but not enough light to like be able to tell what time it was.
Okay. Since it wasn't total darkness, I'm just gonna guess early in the night still. So I'm going to take some time, a fair bit of time. It's probably going to take like 5 or 6 hours. I'm going to take off everything that I'm wearing and fold it up, set it neatly aside on the ground. I'm going to take probably 30, 45 minutes in the wash basin to wash myself off, really scrub right down to the skin, get all the gross out of my fur.
All of the seawater and everything.
Yeah, the seawater, the gunk, the blood, everything. And after that's all done, I'm going to begin trimming my fur, something I haven't done in a very long time. So it's quite long and scraggly at the moment.
Giving yourself a bit of a haircut.
She's about to see her man. She got to get party.
Yes.
She hopes.
And
I mean, what?
Something else that I'm going to do. But I'm going to trim it so like the hair on the top of my head, the mane that goes down the spine and everything is very pronounced. So the fur on my shoulders and torso is shorter than the mane of hair that I have. I'm going to take from my bag the preserved fang, Yith's fang, that I found in Bimmy's brother's shop.
Okay.
Take that out of the case that it was in. I'm going to pull out one of my earrings, and I'm going to force the fang through the hole that the earring was in. So now it's essentially an earring.
Alrighty.
And then the fun part. I'm going to use the remainder of the time, and I will use all night if I have to pull out the old history book that I have that outlines the ritual for channeling you-know-who's power.
Okay.
I'm gonna pull that out. And I am going to take my blank book out. I'm going to outline all the, I assume this ritual requires runes and symbols and stuff. I'm going to copy them down into my blank book. And then I'm going to just make.
Okay, so since you're gonna copy it, I'm going to need an Arcana check.
Okay. Oh, where's my Arcana? There is my Arcana.
Oh yeah, you're fine. So you're able to successfully copy the ritual down.
Once I have that copied down in my blank book, I am going to make a small incision somewhere on my body just to produce some blood. I'm going to dip my claw in it, and I am going to use Rite of the Storm in the same fashion that I did on Molly to make the mark on her forehead. I'm using that to write the runes of this ritual across my entire body.
Okay.
I'm not doing the ritual because the ritual does require a heart, which I do not have at the moment. But I am essentially creating a backup plan. I am putting this ritual on myself permanently so that in a moment, all I need is that heart to activate the ritual.
All right. Yeah. And this, like, in order to successfully do this, I'm going to say it's going to take well into the late hours of the night to complete.
Yep. I will forego a long rest if I need to.
You're going to have to. You're gonna take a point of exhaustion for this. Every now and then you need to stop due to just the pain of like carving these runes into your body. But as the night progresses and everything, you're able to successfully get these runes on your body. And once you finally fall asleep, it's probably a good 4 o'clock in the morning before you're able to finally lay down. So you're gonna have a point of exhaustion for until you can get a full night's rest.
That is acceptable. I hope I don't have to use this, but just in case, there it is.
Just in case I wanted to look super metal.
Jesus.
Tickles.
Yes. How's it going?
While Zale is coloring on herself, what are you doing?
You said by the time that Zale was done at 4. I have no clue what time it is and whatnot. All matters of the night, correct?
Correct.
All right. So instead of causing trouble in a place that might get her killed, she's going to cause trouble somewhere else. She's going to glimmer cross.
You're going to use the ring?
Yep.
All right, so you reach out with your hand like as you've done before, and the ring begins to glow that soft red as you normally see it do. But as soon as you do, you see runes dance across the bricks in your room, as it's almost as if the spell of the ring is counterspelled.
Oh.
Really? Wouldn't let me see my kids? How dare you, Walls? How dare you?
No mommy kid time for you.
No mommy kid time. No, that's not gonna work either because wow. You know what? Let's see if I can find something here.
You have a natural magic proficiency, correct? Because you're technically warlock.
She has the feat. Magic initiate.
Oh, you have the feat magic initiate.
Yeah.
You know what? Even with magic initiate, go ahead and give me an Arcana check.
I can do that. Yeah.
Not with a 9.
All right.
I was just see if you could identify what the runes are on the wall when they showed up, but apparently not.
No, she's not a smart rat. She's more of a.
She is. She's just not. She's not learned in the ways of magic.
Not yet.
She's not a magic rat.
Not a magic rat. Someone thinks she's got warlock magic, but it's still funny. I'm trying to see if there's something. No. What is this one again? Rule of. Was the scroll of the two-headed rat the thing for the ship, right? Or was that something else?
The scroll, the two-headed rat.
Yeah.
That was your declaration of admiralty.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Just want to make sure. Why do I still have these? Don't have that. That's right. I still have teeth. I can't do nothing with it just yet. Trying to make sure if there was nothing that I'm just not overlooking. Fuck it. She's gonna go venture into the wonderful place that she says she wasn't going to.
I'm sorry, what?
She's gonna venture around the place.
Are you just gonna wander about?
Just gonna wander about.
Just aimlessly wander?
Just aimlessly wander.
Okay. You know what? Go ahead and give me let's do a percentile roll. Let's see what happens.
Oh my god, percentile, I love you.
Hey, you're in an unfamiliar tunnel with
You're right.
Last time you did this, dice got taken over by a ghost.
Right.
So as you're wandering about, you come across a small alcove in the tunnels where a bunch of what look to be gnomes and halflings are sitting around a table playing dominoes.
She's going to observe.
Okay. And as you stand there silently observing, they're just having a merry time. Each of them seem to be members of this guild. There is a large keg off to one side that it seems like they've stolen away from another room. As you can see, a couple like dents along the barrel where it's like collided into walls or anything like that. But it's full. They're pouring like large pint glasses as they're sitting here playing and conversing with one another. Speaking in a language that you do not understand.
Can I check to see what I can assume what the language might be?
Yeah, go ahead and give me a intelligence roll.
Okay. Check.
Yeah, just a straight up intelligence check.
Ew, okay, we can try that. Can I click it? Yes, I can click it. Oh, come on.
You have no idea what it is, and it's like as you're trying to like listen to it and trying to discern like if you can like find any words in the language, it kind of makes your head spin as almost like you're just confused as to what is going on.
Yeah, it's confusing her, so she's just gonna kind of move away from him.
Just gonna move away?
Just gonna move away.
Okay. Are you going to continue along down the tunnel, or are you going to return?
Oh, she'll continue down.
All right, give me another percentile roll.
Right.
You keep going on, and you come to the end of the tunnel.
Oh, that's nice.
The tunnel is just completely open with a small rope, small safety rail that made out of rope, and you can hear the crashing of waves as you look out, and off to the side is this large underground waterfall of seawater that seems to just goes far down into just this black abyss.
So what I'm getting at is I'm at the end of a tunnel and it's just kind of cut off with a rope. Yep. And I'm behind a massive waterfall.
No, the waterfall is off to like the left of this, where the tunnel is. The tunnel ends and just opens up into this expanse, and off to the left of that wall you can see a waterfall just pouring down into the black abyss below.
It's just completely black. There's nothing. There's
nothing. Like
all I see is just water falling.
You see water falling and you hear water making contact with whatever's below, but you can't see the bottom, and you can't see probably you can see about as far out as your night vision allows you, but then there's just nothing.
Is there anything that catches my eye besides the waterfall?
You do have night vision. It's what, 60 feet?
Yes.
I should say dark vision. Yeah, go ahead and give me a perception roll, seeing as how you do have that. 19. So you don't really see anything outwards aside from, like, if you look up, you see a couple stalactites. But when you look down the wall that you're standing on, there's just jagged rock jutting out from the wall itself, though you can see what look to be gem-like formations in the walls, or in like these spires jutting out from the walls as well. Just very large, like probably large flat surfaces of what look to be just like this black gem.
I'm kind of confused. So there's like gems coming out of the ground or the wall?
Like, yeah, because you know where the wall gets cut off and it goes into expanse, that wall, if you look straight down,
Okay.
like it just becomes jagged rock, and in those rocks you see these large, like flat, like the surface area, there's these large flat black gems.
How far away are they? Like really deep down, or
The closest one to you is probably about 45 feet down.
45 feet down? How big does it look? Kind of roundish.
It's probably Zale fist size. And that's just the surface. If Zale would just like punch down onto this rock, like the surface of her fist would cover it.
Oh, okay, I see. So it's such a this weird form of rock. Okay. There's really nothing here that she can do, but she just thinks it's pretty, and
as you're looking, you feel a hand softly close over your shoulder.
as soon as that happens, I say, I didn't do it.
I would hope not. If you did, you would be down there.
Wow. I turn around to see who it is.
It's Blind Jenny.
Oh, hi.
Enjoying your little adventure.
Yeah, just a small one.
Well, you haven't wandered into any of our restricted areas, so I cannot be angry at you. So, what do you make of all this?
Very confused as to why there's I guess, a void and a waterfall.
Undersea cave.
I assume there is like water down below.
Yes, a bit. I mean, we none of us have been down there. None
Oh,
of
so
us,
no one has actually tried to venture down?
we don't know how far the bottom is. And we don't want to find out.
Much as the curiosity of me wants to actually see what's down there, I don't think I should die just yet.
Yes. Well, but then you may find out who Rodney is.
Who's Rodney?
We do not know. It's something something some of my children have named for some sort of loud beast that seems to stalk along the bottoms of the cave. If you stand here long enough, you may hear him tonight. But he's sort of the deterrent why nobody wants to go down, because we do not know what he is. We just know he's very heavy and very loud.
And he hasn't hurt any of you or your children?
Thankfully, he is not that tall.
Okay. Sounds interesting. Question, do you happen to know my father, Captain Cheeseburger?
You do not look like a parrot.
No, I'm adopted.
That makes sense. I am familiar with the Pirate King. Why?
He hasn't mentioned about a pirate on this side of the world.
That is because we are not affiliated with one another. These seas around here are mine. I would assume he respects that.
Have you guys not tried to talk to each other in form of an alliance of sorts, or do some kind of
would be troublesome and dig into the profits of having to share it with, instead of having having our own sides of the world to govern over. We now become a worldwide pirate conglomerate. That sounds like too much work. I much rather have my own little slice of pie to myself.
That's true. Pirates are more of a nuisance than any. Not saying you are, but it's just how it is.
No, you are right. Partners can be a nuisance. Then we have to go and like incorporate ourselves, pay off dividends to both crews. It's just a headache. And then there's the, the obvious knife in the back at some point, and that erupts into a pirate war, and then it's just all too much.
You got a point.
So what were you thinking about doing about this expense? It almost looked like you were considering going down.
I was at one point. I'm very curious.
Well, whatever you do, do not let that curiosity get the best of you. Though, if you find out what Rodney is, I would happily reward you.
Well, if he comes tonight, then I'd be glad to tell you if I survive or if they answer me.
He cannot talk. We have already tried that. We yelled down to him and he just roars.
Okay. I will gladly take upon your advice.
And she smiles and she just pats you on the shoulder. She just excuses herself as she begins to slither back down the halls.
I bow to her and excuse her.
And as soon as she walks away, you begin to hear a very heavy coming from down below.
Oh. Speak of the devil. And of course, I can't really see as far down there. Is there like a type of shadowy of some kind that I could see?
No,
or...
like your dark vision extends down as far as it can get, and then there's just darkness. So the fall is well beyond your range of dark vision.
I have a really stupid question.
I'm listening.
Can an Eldritch Blast produce light?
A soft light.
But is it enough?
I don't know.
I'm gonna cast it.
So you just fire an Eldritch Blast down?
Not fully down, more like across in a way, or like kind of let it like arch down in a sense, not like fully down, but kind of arch.
Okay, so you're just like arcing it down.
Yes, just arcing it down.
This is kind of like you're just throwing like a jump shot.
Kind of like a jump shot. Woo!
All right. You do that jump shot, and the ball of Eldritch energy flies from your hand, and it's a very soft and weak light as it goes down, not really giving much definition to anything, and then it just begins to like fade into nothing, and you can see the little light of the ball of Eldritch energy, but nothing around it, as it just hits something and just spurts out.
Was there anything I caught before? No.
No. Like it produces a very weak light.
Okay. Oh, that kind of sucks. This is a freaking shot in the dark. Then I mean, funny. Let's see if I got anything.
Fox.
Oh yeah. Can I use my spyglass?
You can.
I'll use it to see what I can see.
All right, so you pull the spyglass out, you pull it down over your eye, and it just pulls the darkness away.
Oh.
And you look down, and you begin to scan the floor of this cave, and it's just nothing but jagged rocks.
Ew.
Along a small naturally made river of ocean water that seems to go deeper into like a very large underground cave. And as you look around, you can see that there are numerous like these large stone-like spider creatures stomping through the pillars in the ground, just knocking them over as they're doing so. And you can see that they're digging into the ground, and they begin to like eat those strange black gems. The tops of the tops of their bodies just completely comprised of very thick and spiny rock.
So what they've been seeing is just
What they've been hearing. What they've been hearing is very large rock spiders that have been just stomping around the floor of this cave, just eating the gems that they pull out of the rocks that they've broken.
Interesting. Wanted to make sure.
And as you begin to watch that, you see one of the spiders stop. And it just sits down. And its shell parts. And you see this small, like, spindly, humanoid-like creature just, like, quickly crawl out of the shell as it begins to, like, start digging through one of, like, the pieces of stone rubble. And it grabs something and it looks at it and it takes a sniff. And then you just see it, like, just take it and put itself in, put this strange rock into its body. And the skin just, like, just ripples like liquid. As it, like, quickly looks around and it climbs back into, like, up the spider's body. And the shell closes over it once again. And the spider comes back to life.
Okay. So I know. Did I get like a really good look at what it was? Was it a small person, you said?
Just like just this small black, like definitionless humanoid. It almost looks like they were just made out of like this black goo. And when they picked up the stone, they just put it in their body. You can see like ripples, like off of its body as the stone was absorbed into it, and then it climbed back up into the spider's shell. And as soon as the shell closed, the spider came back to life.
Okay. Is there for the gems, or the closest one to me? Does it look like it's loose a bit?
No, it's in there.
Oh, it's in there.
Mhm.
Okay.
It's in there and about 45 feet down.
45 feet. Yeah. Hold on. I want to see how far this goes. Damn. Okay, that's 30 feet. Well, that blows.
What were you trying to think?
I was going to see if I can grab like a small gem with Mage Hand.
You would only still have like 5 pounds of force to be able to pull it up.
Yeah. Is that the only like rock spider creature there?
Oh no, you see multiple of these things.
Oh, I see multiple of these
Yeah.
things. Okay.
Like the loud echoing crunching of these of the stones wasn't just one creature as they thought, like this Rodney as they gave it the name of, but you see easily about 6 of them at the moment.
Since it's a creature, like, can I do a nature check to see if I may know it?
Yes, but it's going to be at disadvantage.
That's fine. Come on, give me something.
17, you know that there are species of spiders that live in very deep sediments of the earth that have taken on this form before, as they're not really web-like spiders. They're more of like a trapdoor spider that tunnel through the earth and capture prey that way. And over the years of like evolution and everything, their bodies have begun to almost bind with the earth element around them, giving them a very hard and protective armor around their body. The opening up and revealing this strange shadowy like liquid creature is the first time you've ever seen any, like, heard of anything like this.
Interesting.
Like, and those sorts of spiders, you would have to go, you know, hundreds of miles below the surface to just maybe be able to see one.
Okay, so these are just very, very rare cases of a spider that no one's been able to figure out.
I'm just gonna say, you've pretty much discovered a new species.
Oh, cool. Can I name it?
That's up to you.
Oh, hell yeah.
Because like, you know of like these stone spiders, but none of them have ever been known to carry some sort of being within the rocky shell on their backs.
That's true. I think I'll just kind of not push it any farther, but I will go back to Blind Jenny and let her know what I've discovered.
Okay. And Jenny is back in the amphitheater, and she kind of looks at kind of gives you a very surprised look. Is there something I can do for you, daughter of Cheeseburger?
Yes. First of all, you can call me Tickles. Second, I found out what's in there.
You saw Rodney?
Multiple Rodneys, at least.
Go on.
It seems to be a form of rock spiders. And apparently a weird black creature comes out of the shell of the spiders and consumes the gems that are in there. That are embedded in the rocks.
Now that just brings so many more questions to mind. Though I am not surprised, as I was telling your friend earlier, the twisted magics that have been worked on from the Kamiroskins in this area have twisted and perverted the natural balance of things of this land. No creature around here isn't without some sort of mutation now.
It seemed very unorthodox to see these types of creatures. Did try to bring a gem back, but unfortunately, my mage hand doesn't really quite reach. But I figured I'd let you know what I found.
Well, if they were after these rocks, maybe it's best that we don't try to bring them in. Last thing I need is giant liquid person carrying stone spiders walking in my halls.
Oh, that's up to you if you want to either exterminate them or just leave them be. But hopefully they've left you be for so far.
Neither side has caused us any issue, and if they wish to carouse down in the depths of that cave, I have no problem with it. None of us can get down there.
And neither can I get down there, and I won't be able to get back up.
It's probably best. Who knows, maybe the spiders would try to make a meal of you.
More than likely, I am very small.
I thank you for that information. As I said, I do owe you something. I will have it for you in the morning.
Very well, take your time. I'm in no rush. Just trying to be friendly, and I figured you have yourself a fantastic night, and I will see you in the morning.
Have pleasant dreams. Tickles.
Thank you.
What's Rose doing? Actually, before we find out what Rose is doing, let's go ahead and take our second break for the night. Because I have a feeling that this is where the shenanigans are going to happen. Somebody told Rose to sit still, and she's like, no, I do what I want.
Surprisingly enough, it wasn't Tickles tonight.
I'm surprised it wasn't Tickles. But stick with us, guys. We will be back in about 5 minutes after, we get up, stretch your legs, and all that fun stuff. All right.
Hi, how's it going?
We
I'm
are
into it.
we are back,
Hello.
and we're about to find out what trouble Rose is going to like get herself and probably the rest of the group into.
No trouble. No trouble.
Come again.
Wait for it.
Wait for it.
No trouble.
The fucking line. Let me tell you why. I'm just kidding.
Thanks,
Rose is the epitome of that image of that little girl smiling at the camera where that house burns in the background.
There's no way Rose would cause any trouble as she pulls out her snitch and casts invisibility on it.
Yeah, good luck if my shit doesn't work.
I have stuff, sir. I have stuff. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to etch an eldritch circle in the middle of the room.
Okay.
Just like, I just take out like, my chalk and I just like, just start.
And as you begin to begin to do the Eldritch Circle with your chalk, as you make one of the runes, you move on to the next one. You see that the chalk is just blown away.
That's annoying. That is some hardcore fucking magic. Alrighty, I'm gonna cast darkness in the room.
All right, and you cast darkness, and for just a brief moment, like the entire room is filled up with that black mist, but then it's just quickly dispelled. You could see runes along the walls just briefly flash for just a moment before going back to just being normal brick.
This is gonna make my shenanigans really hard. Do I recognize any of the runes?
You can give me an Arcana check since you are magically inclined.
Let's see. I don't usually do well on my Arcana checks, which sucks because I'm proficient in Arcana. Hey!
With an 18, you know that they are very powerful anti-magic runes. Like they were specifically etched into these bricks to stop any sorts of magic from being cast with inside the room.
Would I know if they can be disenchanted?
With an 18, you know they can.
With what means?
With a means like this, you would need something to literally break the brick. Like this enchantment has been placed on the brick. It looks like it's been used in the forming of the brick.
How many bricks have the rune?
All of them.
On the whole room?
Floor,
Yep.
ceiling, and walls.
It's like I would have to break every brick in the room.
You'd have to break the room.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That is some bullshit. Jesus fucking people. What the
Like you're getting the sense that this has been used in sense just in case the mage knights from Kamiroska have ever found their way inside this den, that they would at least be the playing field would be at least a little more even.
How? That is fucked. Jesus fucking Christ. Hmm. Let's see. That makes too much noise.
Rose is just like, I can't do my shenanigans.
You have shenanigans.
Hmm. I mean, everything I was gonna try because no magical work in the room. I'm gonna open my door, step into the hallway.
Yep.
And then I'm going to, like, I'm presuming there's like torches on, like, you know.
There are torches along the hallways, every spaced out, like probably out every 10-15 feet.
Okay, cool. So I'm gonna like just basically pick like, at range, and do that in the hallway with the door behind me closed.
All right, and you extend your hand out, and you see that the flame is snuffed out, but just for a brief moment as it just comes back to life.
And I see the runes again.
You don't see the runes on the brick, but you do see runes along the metal sconce that the torch is put on just come to life as it just reignites the torch. You're now getting the sense that Jenny and her children do not screw around when it comes to magic. They are on a magical continent near one of, if not the strongest magical cities in the world, whose talent may even dwarf that of Arcastus.
She's like mumbling in Umbral a bunch of expletives. Alrighty. So then I guess we have to do it the hard way then. She goes back in her room and she basically she puts on her work gear.
Gonna have to do this old school.
Yeah. So, the cloak is on, oh, it sucks 'cause I can't even
Yeah, you don't even know if your items work in here.
I know. Screw items. I probably can't use my bow in here because it's technically a magic item.
The vengeance bow?
Yeah.
Yeah, the vengeance bow is magic.
Well, I mean, it's technically a part of me because I've like made it
your pact weapon.
So it's like I'm really not liking this place. So I step out. I'm going to again step out into the hallway, and I'm going to attempt to stealth.
A 20 is decent.
Decent, he says.
I know. Decent. Bullshit. Such bullshit.
When the DM says it's decent, you know you're fucked.
You know that +8 roll that you got? Yeah, that's decent.
Yeah. Jeez, such bullshit.
But
alrighty.
So you walk out and you begin to move throughout the halls, but making sure to keep to the shadows as much as possible.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
Give me a second here. bullshit. Let's see. Verbal and somatic. That's verbal and somatic. That's verbal and somatic. Jeez, what's something that is? All I have is fucking verbal. I am going to attempt to make my way towards the exit.
Back towards the way that you came?
Yep.
All right, go ahead and give me a percentile roll. Oh, first off, give me a survival roll to see if you can make your way back to it. All right, go ahead and give me a percentile roll.
You find the Rodneys.
Find the Rodney. Screw the Rodney.
That's not what I wanted to roll.
At 125. What the? Oh, hi.
Oh, that bullshit.
So as you're walking down the as you're walking along, or not really walking, but slinking along through the shadows as best as you possibly can, you take a turn down one of the other tunnels, and you begin to hear the soft sound of somebody playing a harp behind one of the doors, and it's being played like at a professional level, like somebody has had years of experience playing this beautiful melody.
Is it a melody I recognize?
I would say so. It's
really,
it's an umbral lullaby that was sung to you as a child.
Nani the fuck? All right, that's got my attention. So it's like I'm going to follow the lullaby, which is probably a dumb thing to do and against my better judgment, but I don't feel like I've been glamored, do I?
No, this just sounds like somebody is playing the harp. And this wasn't like a personal lullaby. This was like something of like a cultural significance to where you were raised. So it wasn't just sung to you, it was sung to other children as well.
Alrighty, so then someone from my homeland might be here, which is interesting. I didn't think anyone from Dothrak would be here. All right, so I'm still definitely, my interest, my curiosity is unwisely piqued.
Okay. And you begin to like walk along the shadows again, and you come to a large, like not a large wooden door, but a medium-sized wooden door with the name Jazzy carved into it. And as soon as you're outside of the door, the harp stops.
Well, they know I'm here. That sucks.
Give me a perception. Give me a perception check.
Yes.
So as soon as you hear that stop, you look down. You notice that your one of your boots has like stepped on a piece of spider's web.
Oh, that's no good. So question. Are there spiderkin in the shadow realm that I would be aware of that might have this type of musical ability?
Musical ability, you're not quite sure, though you do know that there are some spider-like creatures from deeper into the shadow roads that have taken an interest in humanoid life and at points try to mimic it. They're experts at mimicking sound and other noise patterns that they have heard humans and other things make outside in the world, or somebody who's gotten lost inside of it. And it's both a hunting instinct, but at the same time, it's something that they do find enjoyable as sort of like a personal use.
Alrighty, so here's another question. Rose knows that there are several creatures that have the same type of mimicry that tend to take on a female form and are specifically manhunters.
Mm-hmm. There are widows like that, yes.
Okay.
Like, and there's the opposite end as well, as where there are males that will hunt females that way as well.
And I only heard the harp, right?
You only heard the harp.
Alrighty. I am going to pull out my snitch and I'm going to hold it to the keyhole.
Okay.
So that way I'm trying to minimize my overall movement. Does that make sense?
Yep. You since you are using the snitch, you can give me a perception check with advantage. Either way, it's 23. So when you hold the snitch up to the keyhole, you look in and you can see this very beautiful golden harp, like mastercraft, in the center of the room. Next to it, a small personal table with a white cozy like hanging off the edge of it, with a very pristine teacup and a tea kettle next to it. You can see the steam rising up off it as if somebody had just recently been enjoying some tea while they were playing. The room itself is, for the most part, what you would normally expect a basic quarters to look like.
Does it look
the only difference is the bed itself has been kind of like pushed up against the wall, and a large funnel web has been made in the against the wall where the bed once sat.
Okay, so the decorations that are in the room, would they be more masculine or feminine?
Feminine.
Okay, so not a woman eater. That's a good thing. But still might not be friendly. Not everything in the shadow is all right. Safest thing to do while keeping the snitch on the keyhole, I am going to say in Umbral, not super loud, but enough where it can be heard through the door. Please don't let me stop you.
And there's like silence for just a moment, but then the door just slowly opens.
Oh, crap. It's not the outcome I was looking for. I palm my snitch. Because I'm presuming I'm going to be face to face with someone right now.
No. Nobody on the other side. The door just opens for you.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Come into my parlor, said the spider to the fly. Oh, Shiza. Alrighty. Oh.
You know what they say, the curiosity kills the tickles.
Gee. So gotta do something stupid. It happens when you have a decent wisdom, but your intelligence is fucking +0. It's like you have to fail first before you learn not to do it again. It's like, I don't know. Should I stick this fork into that socket? Oh, that's a bad idea. I won't do that again. And I see nothing in the room, right?
Aside from what I described, nothing.
Alrighty. Is there a candle or something in the room?
Mm-hmm. The room is well lit.
I am gonna try and douse light one of the candles.
All right, and you send out dousing light, and the candle extinguishes.
Does it come back on?
Nope, because the candle is not in one of the sconces. It's just sitting next to the harp.
Okay, so that means magic is allowed in this room. Okay. Alrighty. Oh, this is gonna be fucking crazy. Alrighty. FYI, I'm wearing my ethereal cloak, not my displacer cloak.
Okay.
Just because, you know, that was the last cloak I was wearing before we like popped off the ship. So I was wearing that. Because the dragon like turtle was like, that thing is gonna hurt. I don't want to be around it. Who's gonna go ethereal and ditch the party if it got too bad? I stupidly walk in. I like a fucking moron step into the door.
Okay. You walk in without a problem. You get in about 5 feet, and the door slowly shuts behind you.
Oh, this is not good. I look back at the door.
Just the door.
Is there like a seat or something I can sit down that's not a web? Or
The only web that you see in there is the large funnel web that's where the bed was at. Everything else is just normal seating. You've got there's like a very lush looking relaxation couch off to the side on the wall that's the same as the door.
Is it close to the door?
It's about 10 feet from the door.
Or what's the closest seat to the door?
That would be the closest seat to the door.
Alrighty, so I'm going to nonchalantly go over to, I'm guessing it's some sort of Shea Lounge or something.
All right, and when you begin to walk, can I get a dexterity saving throw from you?
Oh, jeez. Saving throws, dexterity. Ooh,
all right.
That might not make it.
So as you're walking, you hear what sounds like a twinge of rope as your foot is just grabbed and you're pulled up to the ceiling.
Oh, that's not good.
And you just begin to hang there and like slowly turn it, like spinning around the room.
I am gonna shadow step down to the Shay's Lounge.
Okay. So you try to shadow step and you feel that you feel like the embrace of the shadow road for just a moment, but then you just see those pesky runes on the wall begin to light up.
Oh, that's bullshit. That's why I casted Douse Light in here to see if the runes are active. That is bullshit.
And this is where we say goodbye to Rose.
Rose, you suddenly get the realization that it seems that a lot of the magic that's being dispelled in here seems to be anything that would provide either a combat advantage or a way in, a way quickly in or out. It's like as if they're trying to prevent those who can either like shadow step or teleport or use any sort of displacement magic.
Oh, this is bullshit. This is not good. Not good.
You begin to spin, you spin around a little bit, and then you're stopped as you feel a pair of hands grab you like by the shoulders, and slowly descending from the ceiling, you see this very pale-faced girl with like little spines coming up like around her eyes. Her eyes are just like these soft pools of black, and you can see them like multiple ones running along the sides of her head. Her hair is this very silky black as it's hanging off of her. She's like hanging down as she's upside down parallel to you.
I look at her and I go, and I'm talking to her in Umbral. I go, this is not how one treats a guest.
And she kind of like turns her head. I do not understand. Do you speak common?
I speak in common. It's like, where did you learn that song? If you do not know my language, who taught that to you?
Music book? You are very pretty.
It runs in the family. At least I think so. What music book could you possibly have gotten?
And she just like, you see another hand come out from underneath her cloak, and she points to the wall adjacent from you. And you can see this large bookcase just full of music books and sheet music.
Now, is this song something that's common? Like, you know, it'd be.
It's sort of a cultural thing, so it wouldn't be uncommon that somebody may find the sheet music for it.
She goes, that song is not usually played by those who don't come from where I live.
I thought it was pretty.
Oh, it is.
Oh, sorry. As you feel it, just like this quick slash, like right above your suspended foot is like you fall, you begin to fall to the ground, and she catches you. And you notice that she's holding you in 6 arms.
Oh, geez. Okay, so does she have a total of 6 arms, or she has a total of 8 arms?
She has a total of 6 arms.
Okay, so do I recognize her species?
What's that?
Do I recognize her species or her race?
Not really. It's nothing that you've come across before. You would almost assume Drider, but she doesn't have the body of a spider. You notice that she's got 2 human legs and 6 arms.
Okay.
Then she smiles to you, and she just puts you down and just like boops you on the nose. And she begins to walk back, and as she turns around, you notice that on her back is kind of like that, like a small abdomen-like thing that you would see on a spider with various like orange and black markings on it.
Okay.
She just walks back over to her harp, and she sits down and very daintily crosses her leg over the other, and she motions with 3 of her hands on the right side. She's like, would you like some tea?
No, thank you, but I would like to hear the rest of that song if you don't mind.
And when you say that, her eyes kind of like light up a bit as she takes like a quick sip of her tea, and she just begins to like, again, very professionally play this harp, play the lullaby that you grew up listening to your mother sing to you on sleepless nights.
I'm presuming there are words that go to the lullaby.
There are, but they're in Umbral.
I am going to sing the lullaby in Umbral.
Okay, can you give me a performance roll?
I know you're gonna ask me for that. Since it's something I know, can I possibly have advantage?
Yes. Yes, I'll allow that.
Yay!
Can I give him auto success? Can
I auto tune him?
Can I auto tune him, please?
If you had higher levels of bardic inspiration for performance, I would allow you to auto tune it.
Give me another 3 levels and we'll make it happen.
So she begins to like smile as you begin to sing the vocals to this lullaby until the end. And she stops, and again she pours herself a little bit of tea, and she's like, "You sing pretty."
Thank you.
Are you a new sister?
I am a guest. I don't know if Queen Mother Jenny.
We call her Jenny. We are a family, but she is Jenny.
She is going to help me and my friends, and in turn, we're going to help her find one of your lost compatriots.
Oh, you find Crackfist?
Yes, that is the arrangement that we've made.
He sings pretty too. I hope you find him.
Well, we do too. I'm hoping that if we find him in good condition, that it'll make Jenny more amicable to a mutual beneficial arrangement that I would like to propose to her.
Jenny likes deals.
So do I. Well, let me be more specific. I like the outcome of deals. I don't like the actual dealing themselves.
So do your friends sing pretty?
I honestly don't know. I know one of them can dance, but she's not in the best of moods right now. I'm pretty sure Zale can howl, but I wouldn't call that singing of any kind.
Like, you have a dog? Can I see dogs? I very much would like to pet one.
She's not a pet dog. She's a knoll.
Oh, and she kind of gets like a sad look on her face.
Yeah.
Oh, poor spider.
It's like she would not find offense at being called a dog, but yes, she is far from the dog. And as far as petting goes, I only know of 2 people she'd probably allow to do that without trying to tear their face off.
I see. Well, maybe one day I will get to pet a dog.
Oh, well, is that something you're not allowed here?
I was brought here. They keep me safe.
No. Where are you from?
A jar.
Is that a place?
No, a jar.
Oh, you mean a jar?
Mm-hmm.
So you were made.
Mm-hmm.
Well, isn't that intriguing? That is a fine bit of work to make something as grand as you.
I was to be used, what is it? Spy. I was meant to be used as something called spy.
That would make sense. You definitely have the talent for it.
But I'm not spy.
Oh.
I'm property, creation,
Does Jenny treat you as property?
Oh no, not Jenny. Jenny's very nice. No, what did she call them? Mages. The ones who made me. They referred to me as their property.
Well,
A tool.
Well, they may have created you to be a tool, but now you can be whatever you wish to be if you're working with Jenny. She doesn't seem to be the type to treat those under her care as such.
Oh no, Jenny treats me nice. She gave me music.
Well then,
I very much like music.
well then, I suggest you be a musician. You have a very good talent for it.
Razor said I should be bard.
Well, bards are musicians.
And she holds up her like her 6 hands, and she's like, this can be, oh, what did Jenny say? Off-putting to some. That's why I hide 4.
True. There are those, mainly of human descent, who are uncomfortable with things that fall outside their perspective of normalcy. But that's something you get used to.
And as you're talking, you see like a very large leg like reaching out from the funnel web. But just for a brief moment as it pulls back in.
Like a human leg?
No, like a spider leg.
Oh, fuck me. Oh, crap. It's not just her in here. Oh, jeez. Okay. All right, Rose, we need to hurry up this conversation.
And she notices the worry in your face. She's like, is something wrong?
Oh, I just thought it was just us in here.
It is.
Well, then, whose leg came out of the web?
Oh, that's me.
I'm very confused.
Demonstration. Yes, that's what they said. Demonstration.
I'm about to get freaked the fuck out.
she kind of begins, like her body begins to snap a little bit as she just begins to be pulled back into the funnel web. And then after like a brief moment, she comes out and she now has her humanoid legs are now gone and that are replaced with the torso of a large tarantula.
So cool. I'm sorry, you're fucked.
That is an amazing trick.
No trick. I can separate from my body.
Which is why you can be a spy. You can leave the bigger spider part here while the more human part goes off and does something else.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and when I separate, that part becomes normal spider.
Huh. Oh. Do you have to say the Arcastans are very clever?
Please date her.
Rose already has her boo.
Get you another boo.
Well, I don't mean to take any more of your time. I believe the plaque outside said your name is Jazzy.
That's That's what they started to call me. Nibbles said I had jazz hands, so they called me Jazzy.
Interesting joke. I can see why.
I like it. It's music.
Oh, true. And as long as you like
don't
it, then that's all that matters.
have any other name.
Well, it's a name you like, and it's a name you accept. So.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't forced on you, so that's good.
No, not forced. I like Jazzy.
Well, then that's the important part. Well, Jazzy, it was a pleasure. I do need to try and make my way back to my room. I just wanted to stretch my legs and.
She's like, oh, wait. You get in fights.
Well, if something bad happened to your friend and we need to rescue him, we'll definitely be getting into a fight. Yes.
Okay. Don't be scared.
Oh my God, those are famous last words.
As she separates again from the body, as you can see the top half of the tarantula kind of open up as she steps out. As it seals, you can see the lower half of the body come to life as a giant tarantula, as it just begins to look around, and it just stands there. And she walks over and she's like, you may be little dizzy. And then all of a sudden you're like flipped upside down. You begin to be spun around into a spider's web.
Oh,
jeez. And then she catches you after probably about like 2 minutes of spinning.
Oh, jeez.
And she smiles and she kisses you on the forehead. She's like, all done. And she pulls you down, and then she cuts the threads of the web that are binding you together. And as you stand up, you can see like this soft shimmering of spider silk now interlaid into your armor, and it increases your armor class by 1.
Yes, dude, that's awesome.
Oh. I was like, fuck. I was like, just keep her talking. Just keep her talking.
I'm sorry, but I'm gonna tell you this right now. My heart is pounding fast because I fucking hate spiders. But this is the greatest shit ever. Oh fuck.
Oh, I thank her, and I'm just like I like admire, you know, the inlay of the webbing, and I go, this will definitely help, and I promise I will do everything I can to bring back your friend.
Yes, please. Crackfist is my first friend.
And she goes, friends are important.
Mm-hmm. Rose's friend.
Oh, thank you. I'll be glad to call you a friend as well.
And she, like when you say that, she like just gets a huge smile on her face. And you could see like every one of like her spider like eyes just like blink in rotation.
Cool. Alrighty. So I'm like a little bit more calm. I'm like just like, you know, in my brain, I'm like okay, I think I'm not gonna get
you. Oh, one other thing. She like begins to like dig around a small box, and she pulls up this ring that's just this very thick circle of spider silk. And she hands it to you.
Okay.
You wear this, you walk like me.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Walk on walls.
She's so stupid. She's like Rose just puts the ring on it. Like, do I have to wait the hour for the attunement?
Nope.
and she just like starts like just starts walking up the wall.
Yep, and you just begin to walk up the wall like it's just like normal flooring.
Oh, she like giggles joyfully.
It's like, oh, don't step on wet, you fall.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah, spiders don't like water. We fall.
Oh, like the nursery rhyme. Interesting.
Mm-hmm. It has truth.
Like, can I like jump off the wall to land down?
Yep. You can just like, it's like mentally, it's just you let go and you just like a Spider-Man flip and land back onto your feet.
Oh my god. Oh, that is like so badass.
You are now the true Peter Parker.
Give me a minute here. Let's see. Rose is just a collection of like horrible shit. It's like looking through my pockets, I'm just like, like just like you just collect horrible things to make more horrible things out of them, don't you?
And if they don't get used, then he just finds a way for them to get in your hands.
Alrighty, so I don't have anything magic I'm willing to give her, and I'm trying to find something that's not gross, that I haven't turned into some type of like horrible arrow yet. Well, because like if you look through my thing, it's like I have like stingers and teeth and all sorts of horrible shit to make like just horrible arrows out of. But I give her like I have like 5 harpy feathers, and I take out the prettiest and like best looking of the harpy feathers that I have, and I tell her it's not magic, but a gift for a gift. This is something that I collected for myself to make something. Maybe it can be of assistance to you.
And she kind of brings up all 6 of her hands. She begins clapping as she takes the feather for you and she sticks it into her hair.
Oh, it works nice. Has a very accent.
I like pretty things.
Well, so do I. I'm glad we have that in common. And then I'm just gonna bow to her gracefully and go, it's getting late. I should head back to my room. I don't want to be out too late and get in trouble with Jenny.
Oh, no trouble. Don't get trouble.
So I'm like, does she let me out the room?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
she as much as Rose is just like running through every horrible spider-like scenario she's ever heard of, like from adventures and stuff, Jazzy is just like the epitome of innocence. Like she is just like overly friendly and everything, and doesn't seem to have like a evil bone in her body.
Oh man, she got plucked out the jar at the right time, because holy crap, could she be horrible?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I am going to head back to my room and count my lucky stars.
And as soon as you close that door, you begin to hear another melody begin to be played on the harp.
Am I that close to her?
Oh, it echoes throughout the
oh,
halls.
okay, I gotcha.
But like once you like begin to round the corner and go back to your room, it fades off.
Gotcha. Alrighty, I am. Yep, that's enough excitement for Rose. She's heading back to her room. She's not gonna press her luck.
All right. Dice Fury, thank you for that raid. Raiders, welcome on in. How is the stream, everyone? So,
wow.
Everyone goes to sleep.
Raiders.
After either finding a new species of stone spider, coloring a demonic ritual into your body, or meeting a cute, sweet, and innocent spider hybrid girl.
Also future wife.
Yeah, I love how like Groudon and Fox are telling Rose to kiss her.
Kiss her, damn it! It'd be the greatest love story, better than Twilight.
I mean, come on, she's like a big fuzzy tarantula person. That just makes for the best and softest cuddling.
Exactly.
To be like her features on her humanoid form are more reminiscent of like one of the smaller like orb weavers, and then the bottom half that like she can merge into is like a basic like a California brown tarantula.
Okay. So she could be terrifying and adorable.
Yeah. I'm very, very, very happy she was not terrifying.
Pretty much, I just combined my two favorite spiders and made it one thing.
Of course you would.
Because oh man, I am not a fan of spiders, and I'm just like, oh crap. It's like none of my magic works in here. It's like I have nothing. I can't even pull my bow out.
All of a sudden, you know how that poor human felt when you scared her to death in the darkness.
It's like
lost and alone.
It's like
no means to defend himself.
Yeah, I hope he comes back from the dead to haunt your ass.
My quick whip and sharp tongue and calm head on my shoulder kept my ass alive. I didn't panic and freak the fuck out and start swatting at her. That probably would have gotten me killed.
I summon astral newspaper.
Right.
Oh man. Oh. Holy
so
crap.
After everyone goes to sleep, you get a somewhat restful night, aside from Zale, who is going to suffer a point of exhaustion after carving a demonic ritual into her body. But as you wake up, you guys meet with Blind Jenny once again in the center of the amphitheater. And she begins to slither on down the rubble that she sits on as the highest point in the amphitheater. And she comes over and she hands.
So she literally sits on a pile of rubble?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, and she's got the two Goliaths standing next to her. And then everybody else around her is in like the half seat the half circle amphitheater on like benches and seats. But she comes down to Zale and she hands you a stack of documents.
These are the papers, then.
Yes, these should get you past the guards.
I appreciate it. I had a thought this morning about the favor that you asked us to do for you. What if we can't find any information?
All I ask is you try. Kamirasca is a very large and very corrupt city. To be honest, I do not expect you to find much, if anything.
Well, I imagine we'll be spending 2 or 3 days in the city before moving to our final destination. So we'll do what we can in that time.
And she nods, like she like taps the documents that you're holding. These papers should guarantee you basic passage through the city. It identifies you all as magically gifted, but not too high up to raise any suspicion to where they may ask for a demonstration of your power.
Let's hope that's enough then.
It should be. Though, my advice to you is do not trust anything that's given to you for free. Nobody there does anything out of the kindness of their hearts. There's always a motive or 10 waiting in the shadows.
I will be extra careful with every move that I make in there, especially considering my history with the city. There's no room for missteps.
Misstepping would lead to a fall, and a very painful one at that.
You have people in the city, yes?
Yes. You can identify them because they will be wearing one of these as she taps to the blindfold, but normally they are around their arm as they pass themselves off as clerics.
Do you have any means of communicating with those people very quickly?
Quickly, no.
They have a means of communicating with each other.
We tend to send ciphers back and forth through smuggling runs, though those aren't really something that is on a normal schedule, just whenever we have them. Our contacts in the city, if they get one from us, will send word along to whomever the cipher is for, and vice versa.
Well, perhaps then you may have enough time to spread word through your people in the city. If I'm not quite sure how to put this, given that I'm not really sure what I'm alluding to even, but if some sort of visible calamity strikes one of the floating towers in the city, it would be advisable for your people to get out of the city as quickly as possible.
Are you planning on bringing down one of the spires?
I'm not planning on it, but it is a possibility. I am venturing into this city for one purpose and one purpose only, and that is to get my mate back. And if I cannot do that, then the city will fall with me.
Then I will inform my children in the city. Thus, they are aware that they may need to flee at a moment's notice.
I will do everything that I can to prevent that outcome from happening.
Oh, it would
but
be...
it is a possibility.
It would be no skin off my back if it were to fall. To be fair, I think they would deserve it.
Well, my hope is that I can just walk out of there with my mate, and everyone will end the day with their lives intact.
Well, I hope that it comes to the smoothest outcome possible. But no task such as big as this ever ends on a fully happy note.
There is always a price.
There may be a lot of blood spilled in the streets.
Yes. Now, speaking of those streets, we need to begin our trek towards them. I will leave the decision of the path that we take in the hands of Tickles and Rose here.
And Blind Jenny nods and looks over to the two of you.
It's like I'm like in my head, I'm like, we're not the ones with premonitions of where Yith is. What? It's any particular reason why you want us to lead the charge?
It makes no difference to me which path we take. The destination is the same.
Which is?
Kalmiraska.
True, but do you have any idea as to where in Kalmiraska Yith is being held?
He is in one of the floating towers.
And we don't know which one.
I do know which one, but I have to see it up close first. well, I see it from within the city anyway. The vision that I had as it faded, I was taken out of the tower, I suppose you could say. So I saw the tower from a distance, but I need to see it from within the city before I know which one it is exactly.
Do you have a description of the tower?
I do, but my player didn't write it in his notes.
The one that you saw, the spire that you saw was the temple-like structure, the long,
right, yes,
the long twisted white spire with very old-like runes carved into the pillars of the inside, where Yith was sitting in the circular, the red circular runic ritual, as they were beginning to prepare him for something.
I wrote everything down about that ritual, but I didn't write down the description of the outside of the tower. So my notes now. How was it compared to the others? Because I think you said there was
the other spire was the royal palace, and then the third one was their mage tower.
Gotcha. Okay.
The 3 seats of power of Kamiroska.
Yes, the tower that I saw, it was tall and twisted, white on the outside. I believe it looked like a temple of sorts.
The Temple of Faith. You're going to their clerics.
That is where he's being held, and so that is where I will go.
In that case, you are going to want one of the stones from their holy men. Any priest you see on the streets may have one.
Do you know if they have any temples on the ground?
They do, for the lesser citizens of Kamiroska, but anyone of significance in their clergy should have one of their stones.
Understood. Thank you.
All right, and before you guys go ahead and make that decision on where we're going to go, or where you're going to go, how you're going to travel there, let's go ahead and take our final break for the night. Just want to point this out again, guys, that this episode is brought to you in part by Roll20. They are now sponsoring the stream, so they're awesome. That's why the Roll20 thing is in the corner now. We will be back in 5 minutes or so. We are going to just take a quick break, get up, stretch your legs, get some of the drink, and we will be right back.
Sounds good.
All right, we are back. Zoro, thank you for that, host. How you doing?
Oi.
So, before we left off, Zale decided to throw Rose and Tickles under the bus and make them decide which path they want to take towards Kamiroska.
You're going to see Tickles do this. We're going that way.
Well, where? Okay, so we're at the dot. Okay, cool. Why don't? Or is there a reason why we're not doing a straight shot?
Well, no, the options are you can either go topside and, you know, risk the magical beasts up there, as well as running into any Kamiroskin mage knights who may give you a hard time on the road, or go through the smuggling tunnel that will lead to one of the establishments that Blind Jenny owns in Kamiroska. But the tunnels again aren't without their perils, as some of the creatures sometimes wander in through there.
I go for the tunnels.
I would rather take the tunnels than to deal with mage knights, because that just sounds like a whole lot of nope.
Yeah.
She nods. She's like, that's a smart idea. Though you may get lost, so maybe it's best that I have one of my children come with you as an escort.
I think we would appreciate an escort.
Okay, very well. As she kind of looks over her shoulder and she's like, Jazzy dear, can you please come here? And you hear like a very hurried like scamper across the roof.
Huh?
And then Jazzy falls down next to Blind Jenny. She stands up, and it's the same the same six-armed spider girl that you met previously, Rose. And when she sees you, she kind of smiles and waves.
Like I like nod in acknowledgement.
Jazzy here has been through the tunnels a couple times. She is rather proficient in navigating them, though she is not much of a fighter, so if anything were to happen, then you would need to protect her.
I think we're more than capable of doing that.
And Jazzy looks up and she like kind of like whispers in Jenny's ear. She's like, yes, I will ask them. Jazzy wants to know if it's okay if she brings something for music along the way.
I suppose as long as it doesn't alert any creatures to our presence, that would be fine.
And she nods, and she's like, okay, I will go get my things. And she just jumps back up onto the roof and begins to crawl back over it.
Oh, that's cool.
I look at the other people in the party. I just go, she's probably going back to get her harp.
And how do you know she has a harp?
We had a pleasant conversation last night.
You know, I don't think I'm surprised by that. You get up to a lot of strange things sometimes.
Whatever floats your goat.
There's nothing strange about it. She's a beautiful musician.
Well, I'm not disagreeing.
I mean, if she needed to use an instrument, she could have used my violin.
You have a violin?
You've seen me try to play it.
Have I? Yeah. Maybe I just blocked that out of my memory.
We've seen Tickles try to play it badly.
That would explain it.
I add twice. I haven't gotten to just to get the little rust out.
It's like screech, 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 screech.
Nails on a chalkboard. That's a song Tickles knows.
Yeah.
It's the best performing song of the year.
And she comes back a couple minutes later, and she's got a cloak over her shoulders, and she has a small bag, and in one of her hands she's carrying a very finely made lute.
Oh.
She's like,
It's not
"Oh,
hard.
I forgot other me," and she whispers, and you guys see that large tarantula come like barreling out of one of the things, and it gets right behind her, and the top part of it opens up as she just crawls back into it, and it seals up around her.
I have more questions than answers. Well, I'm just gonna say this. Awesome.
This world has some very interesting creatures in it.
I was made.
Now we're talking like
My statement still stands.
Oh no, mages in Kaminaraska made me.
You can just leave it at that. It's nice to meet you.
I've never seen a little mouse before, or a talking mouse before, I should say.
Hi, I'm classified as a ratling.
And you're the doggy.
I immediately tingle sense laughing.
Rose says that you don't like to be pet, but I hope I can earn your trust to pet you a little. I've always wanted to pet a dog.
Well, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but I am not a dog.
But you look like a dog.
But you can pet her.
My people resemble hyenas a lot more than they do dogs. And hyenas are not dogs.
But you look like one. You've got the ears and the face. You don't have tail though.
I do. It's just not very long.
It's stubby.
I heard that tickles.
I'm sorry.
It's like, well, I hope we can become friends so I can pet you.
Well, if you get us to the city relatively unharmed, then perhaps we can talk about it then.
Yes. The city even has some nice sticks, so we could play what is it? The fetch.
She's done. Tiggles is done. She just goes in her little box and just laughs.
And she sees the two of you laugh. She's like, did I say something amusing?
Yes, and I thank you for it.
I didn't mean any amusement in what I said.
Oh, sweetie, I know we're just envisioning something that we know will never happen, and it's quite funny.
Perhaps if you ever find yourself in the desert, I will show you how gnolls play fetch.
I've never been to the desert before.
It's a wonderful place.
I would like to see it.
And very hot.
Maybe after you get your mate, you can take me there.
If we walk out of that city in one piece, you are welcome in the desert.
She quickly nods. She's like, and then one piece we shall be.
That's the hope.
Okay. Come friends, we're going. And her like the massive spider body just turns and begins to walk down a pathway.
I'll follow.
Was Jenny supposed to give me something?
Oh yeah, Jenny.
And Jenny like grabs you by the collar. She's like, I almost forgot. I'm sorry. Also, please be patient with her. She's still learning a lot of interacting with people. She's only been with us for 2 weeks. She is the one that Crackfist rescued.
Oh, okay.
She's like, and your reward, and she gives you this silver ring with the head of a gorgon on it. Show this to any one of my agents.
Okay.
And they will provide you safe passage.
Okay, how do I know which one's your agents?
They will have the white blindfold on their arms, posing as clerics.
Gotcha. Thank you very much.
If it's shelter or food or anything that you need, they should be able to provide it to you within reason.
Good. Of course. And she will she'll put the ring on and then go ahead and scurry on down.
Okay. And Jazzy begins to like lead you all down like these winding paths, and you finally come to this iron gate blocking off part of the tunnelway. And she turns around, she looks at everyone, she's like, okay, stick close. It can be dangerous.
Alrighty, if any, and Rose goes to her and she says, if anything dangerous pops up, get behind us.
Mm-hmm. I'm very good at running.
Good.
And she, like, all 6 of her hands wrap around the bars of the gate, and with like just one swift pull, she just pulls it away. She's like, okay, in.
All right, following.
How large is the space that we're
You're
going?
gonna have to duck. They're gonna have to duck to get in through. But once you get through the initial like hole where the grate is blocking, it's expansive. It's like somebody maybe rode a purple worm through here and just bored a giant tunnel.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I'll scurry in with everyone else.
And she turns around and she pulls the grate back onto the hole, securing it in, and she begins to lead you down the tunnelway. And as she does, she begins to play on her lute, and she begins to sing. If any of you have have Elven as your language, it's a well-known bardic song about a knight who slays the dragon and rescues a town from certain damnation.
Cool. I know Elvish.
I do not.
I don't know, but I'll join her with my instrument.
Give me a performance roll here.
Third time's a charm. Come on, dice. Give it to me.
It's decent. It's
okay.
like it's better than what like everyone has experienced with Tickle's past live performances. There are only a couple like sour notes here and there, but it's, you know,
it's progress.
You could tell that it's music.
How echoey is it in here?
Oh, it's echoing.
I'm covering my ears. I've got sensitive hearing, man.
And as the song finishes, she smiles and she's like, "Are you learning?"
Yes.
You're good. Just need a little more grip.
Oh, of course. I'm more of a shooty type person than play later type of guy. Yeah.
That's not for shooting.
Give it time. I'll make sure this thing shoots and play at the same time.
That would be dangerous to listen to.
Ha! I like you already.
Okay. And she just begins to play. She doesn't sing this time, but she just begins to play a melody as she's walking down the expansive tunnel that you're in. And as you're going along, Groudon, can you give me perception? Not perception, but percentiles.
Percentiles?
Please? Yes.
Of course.
Yes.
Just for you. 63.
Okay. So your first stay through the tunnel is uneventful.
Darn.
You're able to get through a good portion of it. Nothing really has hindered your path. You haven't seen any of these strange, like any creatures that pose a threat to you, though you've seen a couple like bioluminescent lizards and stuff running up the walls, and moths that like every now and then will like give out like a spout of flame from their wings as it's flapping. But nothing too dangerous nothing large enough to present an actual danger to any of you. And Jazzy leads you on over to a wrecked a large wrecked caravan like cart that has an awning and everything pulled up underneath it. And there's a well-used fire pit with some cooking utensils and stuff. And she just walks over and she just takes a seat, steps out of the lower half tarantula-like body as it closes up, and the tarantula goes and like kind of settles near the cave wall as she begins to like walk around on her own two legs, stretching them a bit as she begins to set up some of the various parts of the site. We will camp here tonight.
It's safe here then?
Safe-ish.
As safe as can be, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. But don't worry, if anything tries to get us, other me is here to let us know.
Convenient, I suppose. It's a neat trick.
Oh, it's not trick.
A neat ability. A trait.
Yes.
It's very interesting.
I can keep myself company.
Sure that comes in handy. The lonely days.
Yes. We have many of those. But maybe not when we go to the desert.
Hopefully not. Hopefully after we're done in this city, the lonely days will be behind us.
Can any of you cook? I'm not good.
My survival's +6 and I'm proficient.
I'm at 7.
No, I guess Tickle's picking.
I usually eat my food raw, so probably not me.
I can try. I might need some help.
She goes, okay, let's see. And she walks over to one of the one of these large chests, and he opens it up, and she begins to pull out like small sacks of things, and she just hands them over to Tickles, and they're various like roots and vegetables, some dried meats as well. And she just closes it back. It closes the lid on it, and she sits on top of it, and she again just takes her lute and begins to play, letting you cook.
Okay, here we go.
Is anyone going to assist Tickles, or are you just going to let Tickles?
I'm assisting.
All right.
I'm proficient, so she'll have advantage.
All right, so Iron Chef Tickles, go ahead and give us a survival roll with advantage.
If this works, you might as well call me Rapatootie. I'm a Rapatootie.
All right, so your meal is good. Nothing wrong with it or anything. I will say that you got a decent number, so nothing bad will happen food wise.
I love how 24 is a decent number.
Yeah, I mean it could be higher.
Yeah,
I mean, at this level, anything under 30, yeah, it's all right.
Okay,
But Tickles, you're even surprised with like how well you cooked tonight.
Oh, my little Tickles is growing up.
First you you're able to play your violin somewhat, and then you're able to cook a meal.
She's learning how to sing and cook for her children, like any responsible parent.
Oh my God, I'm becoming my father.
What are you talking about? She's the one who has the idea of launching them from a catapult and yelling pack tactics.
Give and take a little here and there.
Pack tactics! Ha ha! Go, my little minions!
So
while she's cooking this amazing meal, I'd like to just take some herbs and oils and stuff from my alchemy kit and just make a soothing like salve out of them that I can put my fresh runes when I sleep.
Okay. Yeah. All right, so go ahead and you can give me and the alchemy kit roll if you want.
Where did I put my... There it is.
Jesus!
31. You've got a plus 14 in that, by the way.
All thanks to Yith with that master alchemy kit.
By the way, is that a decent roll?
That's decent. I mean, with the master alchemy kit, yes, that's decent.
What an asshole. I'm just kidding.
So yeah, you're able to make the salve with enough applications for probably the remainder of the trip. You probably got a good 4 days worth.
Perfect.
Of salve to help with the irritation from the runes that you've carved into your flesh.
The last thing I want is demonic runes to get infected.
I mean, that could just be a thing that happens. I mean, it's demonic runes.
That's fair.
Rose, did you... Oh, wait, you were helping Tickles cook. That's right.
Yep.
Okay. So after everyone settles down and has their meal, is anyone going to take watch, or are they going? Okay. I was gonna say, are they gonna let Jazzy and other Jazzy do it?
I will do it first, and then I will give it to Zale.
Okay, so go ahead. So Tickles, go ahead and give me those wonderful dice rolling. Very good.
You're welcome.
You sure you're gonna say that?
Yes. And suddenly we're all attacked by rock spiders.
Mm-mm.
Oh, worse? Okay.
Let's see who. Zale, where are you sleeping at the moment?
I'd probably kind of curled up with my back up against if there's just like a rock wall or something that would give my back protection, but not necessarily my front, I guess.
Okay. Can you do me a favor? Make a ranged attack with Skull Splitter against Tickles.
Oh Lord.
What?
Oh, okay, yeah, all right.
What?
Because it's like you're throwing it at her. So
yeah,
it's still a strength roll.
It is. I'm assuming this is the
arm.
Yeah. So when the arm uses it, does it still activate the special matriarch parts of it?
It's
or
still you.
Okay. Arm doesn't know how to use it properly.
So the arm flies maybe about 2 feet.
Oh.
Not even 2 feet. It's kind of just like. So Zale, you're gonna take.
You want me to
14 points of slashing damage and 6 fire damage.
Yeah.
As it was less of a throw and it just tossed itself up in the air. And then Skull Piercer or Skullcracker came down and sliced your arm a bit.
Does the concussive blast go off?
No, the concussive blast does not go off because it is a botch.
Ignore those other two things then.
But as it cuts, you're awoken by a very sharp and agonizing pain as the arm begins to spread up again until it's now fully taken over up to the shoulder.
That's a very rude awakening.
Do I notice this?
Oh, you hear it. Yeah, this isn't something Zale can grit her teeth through.
Yeah, she cries out from the sudden axe wound in her arm. Well, not technically her arm, but...
So Tickles was kind of gone at this point. So
She was.
So she has to ask. She's like, "So what's wrong with your arm?"
I'll explain it to you, but help me with something first. Do you have a
Sure.
rope or anything of that sort on you?
No. I kind of used my rope, and it's still. I know. I gave my rope to you.
I don't have any rope left either. I used it all tying people up on the ship.
Yeah, that's what you used it for.
Is Jazzy awake, or one part of her?
Well, she's awake now. She's like looking around, like all terrified because you were yelling in pain.
Excuse me, Jazzy, right? Can you perhaps produce silk, or do you have any strands of silk on you?
Yes. Why?
I need a rope-like substance, and I don't have any on me. If you have some silk, that would be very helpful.
Okay. And she begins to spin about 5.5 feet of silk. Is this work?
Yes, that will do nicely. Thank you. She takes it and she wraps it kind of around her shoulder and like under her arm, and ties one end of a knot right at the top. She holds one end of the silk. Tickles, take the other end.
Okay, you're gonna have to. Are you sitting or are you standing?
I'm sitting.
Okay, now she just kind of grabs it. What do I do with this?
Pull.
Okay, and she pulls.
And Zale pulls the other end. Basically, like tying off an arm, so you're cutting off the circulation type of thing. She's not trying to damage it. She's not trying to cut it off. She's just trying to slow it.
Okay.
And once it's nice and tight, she'll tie it off so it stays that way.
Seriously, what happened to your arm? It's all human-like.
Do you remember? Geez, I already forgot her name. Jasmine. And Ruby. Do you remember Ruby, the hag side of her?
No, Jasmine was the
Jasmine
hag side.
was the hag. Whichever, they were both the hag as far as
I
I
thought it
can
was
tell.
Jocelyn. Never mind then.
Jocelyn's
That's
a different one.
Okay.
There have been a lot of hags on this show.
There's a lot of hags.
Fuck off.
Well,
Anyhow,
you remember the one on the ship?
Yes.
Well, she was trying to make a getaway, and I didn't want her to do that. So I stopped her with the help of Jelvoth. We stopped her. A little bit of a tussle ensued. I crushed her neck. She removed my arm and cursed me with this.
She gave you a human arm.
Well, from what I understand, from what I think it was Jelvoth could tell, and what he told me, it is a death curse.
So you're slowing dying. So wait, how's it?
Should I not get rid of it? My understanding is that it will turn me into a hag.
An old hag is not what I had in mind.
It's not exactly what I had in mind either, but there are other priorities at the moment.
I can see that. I don't know anyone that can get rid of a death curse. I don't think Piper knows anything about that.
I asked Dice if she was able to remove curses, and she was not. And I asked Molly, I think, as well, and Jalvoth, all of them, if they could do it. And they don't have that type of magic. So until we happen across someone that has that magic, and we may find them in Kamenraska, especially if we are going after clerics and temples, then I'll deal with it when the moment arises. But right now, I just want to stay the course.
There's only one person that I know that might help with it, but unfortunately, they're kind of gone.
And who is that?
Kata.
He may be able to help, and that's actually not a bad point. He did give me his word that he would help me once we were in the city and were ready to go after Yith. So if he shows up, perhaps he can do something. But otherwise, I will just grin and bear it until the opportunity to get rid of it arises.
Sounds good. Now that you're awake, it's your turn for watch.
What a way to start a watch.
I know. You're welcome.
All right, Zale.
That sweet percentile. Does my exhaustion affect the percentile in any way?
Yes, it does.
Oh, shoot.
Figured I'd ask.
Is
it
just roll?
Okay.
Just roll minus the 20.
Oh,
how's a 35 work?
Oh, goody.
Is that one? No, that's 3.
3 lower than what you rolled, so.
Oh my god.
Plus whatever detriment the exhaustion adds.
Wow. So, as Zale is on her watch, you slowly begin to doze off. Like not being able to keep your eyes open. And you fall asleep. And while you are in a dreamlike state, you begin to have another nightmare. But at this point, it is you chained up to a floor in what you can only assume is some sort of cave-like prison. You are beaten and bloody without your arms, armaments, or even your friends. As far as you can tell, you are alone. When your jailers, who are these 2 tall hooded figures, walk in, followed by a very large individual who walks over and grabs you by the back of the head and just pulls your head back just a bit. You can see one of your jailers open up a jar and pull out this long purple like slug, and they just drop it on you. And you can feel it as it begins to bore underneath your skin.
Oh.
And then like it slowly starts making its way up to your skull, and then your brain just catches on fire as you can feel this thing devouring it from the inside. As this happens, you can see that your fur is falling out as your body begins to convulse, and your skin begins to turn this very pale, like grayish purple color. Tentacles begin to form where your muzzle once was. And in one last agonizing cry, you now see your form completely turned and twisted into that of a mind flare. And you quickly jump, like snap back into reality, like on the ground, just like shooting up in a gasp and looking around. You can see that you are once again in the campsite. Tickles and Jazzy and Rose just sleeping peacefully nearby you.
Zale like snaps to and sits up and kind of backs herself up against the rock wall, breathing heavily, her chest heaving, and her eyes are just kind of darting around the area that we're in.
Can I get a wisdom saving throw from you?
You sure can. Oh, God damn it. Why is my wisdom so low?
Okay, you're fine. Even though that dream, that nightmare was horrible, it doesn't affect you enough to where you'll lose any sleep over it.
She's probably going to be wide awake for the remainder of the watch, though, especially after that. A little shaken from what she saw. She's weary about sleeping after all these strange and unnerving dreams that she's had over the last few months. But she tries her best to finish out her watch.
All right. And then do you wake Rose up for the third one?
Yes.
All right. Rose.
It's not like she can roll any lower.
Well,
here comes that one.
Just had to say that.
Really?
You know me, I don't have a very quiet mouth. He's just looking at it, he's waiting for it.
Oh, I'm waiting for it.
Shit!
What was that about not rolling lower?
I'm done. I'll see y'all next week.
I hate you. Hate your guts.
Okay. Well, Rose, as you're walking, or as you're looking about on your watch, the ground around you begins to tremble, and the ceiling above you begins to break apart, sending large chunks of rock crashing around the campsite as something large begins to become barreling down the tunnel behind you. A spout of flame bursting out from around the corner as a large claw just comes out and breaks part of the wall open as it begins to come around. And you can see just its entire form is this jet black-like body with spouts of flame spurting out and like random cracks in its flesh, its claws dripping with magma. In one hand, it's got a very large, twisted-looking blade, and in the other hand is this long black whip with these large flail-like balls at the end of it.
Did you just fucking send a Balrog on us? This motherfucker sent a Balrog on us.
Your fault.
And it begins to like it gives out just this bellow as the weapons ignite into flame, and it begins to descend down upon the camp. And with that, we are going to end for this week.
Zorro and Megs are here next week, right?
They should be.
I hope so.
They better be.
Which one of you fuckers is gonna do a you shall not pass?
Which one of you is gonna pull a Gandalf?
Oh man.
I hate you, Tickles.
I'm sorry. I wasn't expecting it, but something inside me was, so I had to say it.
Because it happens every time you say it.
I don't control the dice.
Clearly you do.
I mean, if that's the case, you probably should just start praying for high rolls.
Right?
Jesus.
Oh my god.
We can't go any lower than that. 10. Hashtag blame tickles.
Yep. I need
It's
to put
not.
that on
It's
a
not.
shirt.
It's not even hashtag blame HB Fox anymore. It's just.
I know.
It's just straight up blame Tickles.
Uh,
Ah,
I think I exceed that now. On all shows.
I think so too.
I want it on a shirt. I just want Tickles to just go like, eh.
As the coins just flying up in the air above her.
Yep. Eh. Zoro, make it happen. Put it on a shirt.
yeah, let's see a picture of the horrible thing that's trying to destroy us.
No, you can't because there is none.
Oh, that's great.
You remember? You remember when I said that the creatures here were twisted by magic?
Oh,
That
fuck.
magic is my own twisted imagination.
Oh, jeez. Yay.
So, yeah, you can thank me for this next week.
Everybody wake up. We're running.
Oh man, but thank you guys for tuning in tonight as we did another episode of Gibbering Mouthers as the group slowly but surely makes their way towards Kamiraska, now in the tunnels underneath the western continent, trying to make it into a secret establishment in the city, now being descended upon what looks to be like the combination of a Balor demon and a nightmare. But this is not the only show that we do. We've got currently 4 shows a week, with 2 more being spun up. On Monday nights we have Ravenloft Calls, which is a Ravenloft D&D 5th edition campaign that Impious runs. Tuesday nights you have us here on Gibbering Mouthers, which is a 5th edition homebrew campaign where we use the core rulebooks and the Kobold Press rulebooks. On Wednesdays we have Blood on the Grey, which is our Dragon Age campaign, which we will be doing something different tomorrow because both Zoro and Shadow Fox are entertaining families, so Raven, Fox, and I will fire something up. And then on Sunday nights you have Waist High and Waterdeep, which should be getting back to its regular flow this week, as we finally get to see what happens after we get Troll Skull Manor set up after almost a year of play.
You guys finally got the manor up and running.
Yeah, we're finally getting Troll Skull Manor up and running after a year of shenanigans, because we took it and we turned it into like an episode of Always Sunny and just ran with it.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Jeez.
But before we go, Azarin, who are you and what do you do on the internet?
Hello, I am Azrin, your friendly neighborhood digital underlord. And you can catch me here for shores on Tuesdays with these lovely people who I love hate with a passion. Playing Rosaline Thorne, the Eldritch Archer, the sassy brassy, always classy shit kicker, pretty much. And I am in a new place, and I have super fast internet. So I am going to start streaming again here soon. I am going to do some small rebranding, and I'm going to be doing some test streams this month and possibly next month, just to test things out to see how things are going, because it's been a long time since I've strammed, and I just want to make sure that I find my flow again. So be on the lookout for me popping up on your radio dials.
HP Fox, who are you and what do you do on the internet?
I'm HB Fox, and I'm here on this channel 3 times a week, every Sunday. That's the name of that day. Tuesday and Wednesday. I'm a little more exhausted than usual because I've been in the process of moving out into the middle of nowhere, which is where I currently am, and also building a house. That's taking up a lot of my time and a lot of my energy. So apologies if that comes across a little bit. Once that place is done, it'll all be fine and dandy.
And
Aside from that, I work alongside the Hunter Wild on pretty much everything that we do over on that channel. We are back from our 3-month hiatus, and we are hitting it hard and strong. He just got back from PAX West, is what they're calling it now. And we've got a lot of exciting stuff coming up after everything that he did over there. So keep an eye out for that.
Groudon, who are you and what do you do on the internet?
You already know who I am. I'm Troublemaker. and I am pretty much the definition of the DM's favorite fuel, or the fire. I'm Master Groudon, variety caster, streamer. Been doing a little bit better on health-wise and everything else. Let's see here. I've actually just been watching a lot of shows and movies lately to keep my mind off things. I finally did watch Godzilla King of Monsters, which was fucking amazing, by the way. If anyone has happened to, as for the ones that do have Amazon Prime, please watch Carnival Row. It's amazing. That, and for some reason I somehow got sidetracked and watched Journey Quest, which is like a D&D-esque fan-made film that's apparently somehow on Amazon Prime Video. So I was like, what the fuck? So it was actually really good and kind of cute. So yeah, that's all I've been doing.
If you like anime, Kengan Ashura or Sura is an awesome anime.
I will definitely do that.
It's on Netflix.
There was one recently. I think it's like Demon King something. I don't know. So I've been seeing on Twitter. It's like someone who's got like a face like a pig or something.
Yeah.
And some girl. That's what I want to fucking watch. Don't ask. I want to watch it. I'm seeing all over Twitter.
Watch it.
Yeah.
And I am Rojan Quest. You can catch me here 3 nights a week on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Sundays, as well as my own channel every Monday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday as I play now what seems to be a variety of mostly MMORPGs, BRs, and RPGs. All the while raising money for Extra Life and the Lawrence Small Children's Center. We are going to go on a raid here to go show our love and support to another D&D community here on Twitch. If I can get the right command, it will be absolutely amazing. But we are going to go raid Sweets Gaming, who is doing their own D&D campaign right now. So if you want to join us on that, hit that raid now button at the top and drop our raid command of Behold a Raid in their channel a couple times. Let's go show them some love, and we will see you guys tomorrow for what would be Blood on the Grave, but it will be either a talk show or I'll probably rope these Raven and Fox into some sort of like tabletop simulator or something. But thanks for watching, guys. We'll catch you later.